Today I'm going to show you how you can make these beautiful looking cinnamon rolls that taste delicious and are super easy to make. First off, place a bowl on a scale and add in 150 grams of all-purpose flour, followed up by a pinch of salt, a teaspoon of baking powder, and 25 grams of a sweetener. I'm using a combination of erythritol and sucralose right now, as this is the best sweetener in my opinion without any weird aftertaste like stevia. Combine this with a whisk, and by the way, flour, salt, and baking powder are basically self-rising flour. Now, the next ingredient is 150 grams of 0% fat Greek yogurt, or you can also use skyr. They both taste similar, have a thick and creamy consistency, and have a ton of protein. However, if you want the best possible cinnamon roll, I recommend adding 40 grams of unsalted butter. Yes, butter has a ton of calories, 40 grams have 300, but I promise that it will be well worth it because it will make the cinnamon rolls so much better. Both versions work, either 150 grams of yogurt or 100 grams of yogurt plus 40 grams of butter. If you add butter, you need to melt it, so just place it in the microwave for 20 seconds or so. You can also use a pot in the stove on low heat, then add the melted butter into the bowl with the flour and also add in 100 grams of Greek yogurt. Once everything is added, it's time to go in with your hand and start kneading and rolling the dough. You will see that this will slowly but surely combine and form a soft dough. The good thing about butter is that it is excellent at inhibiting gluten, which is why pastries are so soft and not chewy. Keep kneading until you have a soft dough ball, then place it into the bowl and let it rest for a couple of minutes. For the filling, place a bowl on a scale and start with 0% fat cream cheese. This is an excellent protein source with 10 grams of protein per 60 calories. You can also use light cream cheese with 4% fat if you want. It has almost the same macros. Add 100 grams of cream cheese into the bowl, followed up by 10 grams of cinnamon and 1.5 scoops or 45 grams of casein vanilla protein powder. Casein is perfect when used as a spread because it will become crazy thick and creamy. Lastly, add 20 grams of brown sugar. You can skip this, but I think it's important because it adds an authentic cinnamon roll taste and it's only 80 extra calories. Add a splash of water and start to mix this with a spoon. If you see that this isn't mixing and is too dry, add another splash of water and keep stirring until it becomes a creamy consistency like a spread. This is exactly what you want. Take out your dough ball and press it down into a flat rectangle shape. If you have one of these rolling pins, that would be perfect. However, you can also use a heavy glass bottle, which works just as well for rolling out the dough. It's important to try not to make the dough too thin or it can become dry in the oven. Try to leave it at around 0.5 centimeter or 1/4 inch. The shape isn't that important right now when rolling the dough because you can simply cut it off around the edges, replace it left and right, and start rolling again until you have a rectangle shape. Next, add all of your spread on top and spread it around with a spoon. Try to fill out all of the dough, especially at the sides left and right. And lastly, we need to roll this up. I like to go under the dough with a knife and then slowly roll this from the top towards the bottom until you have one giant cinnamon roll. Cut it into equally sized pieces. This recipe will make about 6 to 7 cinnamon rolls, which is a good size in my opinion. After you have cut them, take out a baking dish, fill it with parchment paper, and lay in all these cinnamon rolls, keeping space in between them. They will become larger in the oven, so keep that in mind. Put them in a preheated oven at 180 degrees Celsius or 350 F for about 20 minutes. And here they are. They have a slightly brown color but are still super soft and they taste really great by themselves. But what I'm currently doing is dunking them in the morning in skimmed milk or my coffee, which is absolutely delicious. The entire recipe comes in at 1169 calories with 69 grams of protein, which is 196 calories with 12 grams of protein if you make 6 cinnamon rolls. If you like this recipe, you need to check out my cookbook with over 200 low-calorie, high-protein recipes that will help you lose weight and keep it off for the rest of your life. Buy it once and get every recipe update for free. The link is in the description.